Hi guys, I'm sorry if this opening's a little short, but this is attempt number 3. This is how much I love you guys. I'm not a patient person. This is attempt number 3 at this video because the first time I hit a key and it deleted everything. The next time I hit my trackpad and it stopped recording in the middle of a sentence, and I can't post that. So I'm going to move my mouse over here. My little mouse is dancing around the screen, and it's going to go over to the side, and then trackpad goes off. Ha ha! Now I can't screw it up. Hopefully. I'm going to answer this first question a little quickly. It explains him. He's our see, he squeaked that time at least. He hasn't been very talkative tonight. These are kind of like squeaks of anger because I'm poking him. He doesn't like it too much. But do you, well, dang nabbit, I've done this 3 times and I still can't figure it out. Do you have a pet? Ta-da! I'm sarcastic, can you tell? His name's Gara. He's a hand-me-down bird. I got him one of those things, a friend gave him to a friend, and then a friend's mom said, you know, really, this isn't our bird. I don't want it anymore. He really kind of needs to go. And we had an old bird cage from having a couple finches that had all grown old and died. Well, I think they grew old and died. It was either that or since they weren't very talkative, I think because they were my dad's job. That was my dad's job, and I think he forgot to feed them, and I just think they died. But the loss of the finches is beyond it at this point. And his name's Gar. He's much more talkative. He squeaks, he chats, he whistles. He spent a week at a friend's house because I was obviously gone to my grandparents. A couple of you maybe noticed those posts. Who knows? And if he does that, he just wants me to pet him, and I might pet him as I talk. I'm sorry if it's distracting. I'll try not to be a distraction. I wear glasses, but as you can see, the computer leaves a lovely glare right where my eyeballs would be. So I decided to take them off, but I see pretty well without them. It's just I'm nearsighted, so things far away, they get fuzzy, and I have astigmatism. So the things that I read without that are like, usually it's with finer print or things that are again far away. And especially with writing, it makes them look squiggly and they get really blurry and it really hurts to read. Like, I usually have to have my glasses when I'm reading a book because it just burns. It hurts, my eyes will sting, and it can trigger a migraine. I have chronic migraines. Sometimes they can be triggered by loud noises, lights, if I've been having just a stressful day, and it's like somebody took a hammer to my head. My world explodes. Noise, any noise hurts. I mean, my brothers will have the TV on downstairs really low, and I get really sensitive hearing, and it all hurts. My hearing hurts. I am light sensitive. Usually if I have a migraine and I know I don't have to get up in the morning, I will unplug my digital clock because my digital clock is too bright. It makes it worse, and my head, just everything hurts, and I have to sleep it off. Once a migraine starts, no amount of medication helps me. I literally have to sleep it off. So if ever I'm talking to you or something and I say, hey, I don't feel good, I've got to go, it's usually because of a migraine. And if I know one's coming, I can take medication and it'll soothe it just down to a headache, and I can stand a headache. I mean, you know, I'm a big girl, I tie my own shoes and everything. But yeah, I think that's the end of that rant. I don't even know where that started. Okay, next question. I can't even remember if I introduced myself. So Rainbow Fairy 22 here for you. And my memory is about that long. Because I know I introduced him, but I can't remember if I introduced me. He's our special guest for the night, by the way. I don't know if you guys got really excited to meet somebody. Yeah. Tumblr. It's my life. Not really. I actually do have friends outside of Tumblr. I have a lot of them, actually. It's kind of scary. I do have an outside life. I work at a gas station. Some of you have probably seen my rants on that. These are things I'm going to answer that I don't have questions for. That's what I can do now. But yeah, I do work. It's a part-time job right now. I am going to school for elementary education. I want to teach kindergarten to 2nd grade. I absolutely love little kids. I was a Girl Scout for 13 years. So I can deal with little kids. Let's see, what else? As my bird cleans himself. Let's see here. I graduated last year from high school. Not last year, the year before. Or maybe technically last year? Technically last year? Yeah, technically last year. Wow, hasn't been that long. Well, that answers this question. How old are you? I am 19. I turned 19 May 2nd. You guys might have seen my happy birthday to myself posts. Nobody really said happy birthday, but that's okay because I love all 69 of you. I have 69 followers right now, and I love all of you. All of you. Loves you. All of you. Some of you, I'm not going to lie, I favor more than others, but that's because you talk to me. There are people on here that actually talk to me. It is possible your followers will talk to you. You have to bug them persistently, though, and there's one person, a person I RP with, and she knows who she is, Peaches. Yeah, talking about you. I call her Peaches all the time, so she knows who she is. And I bug her all the time, and I always feel like I'm bothering her, even though she tells me I'm not. I still feel like it. She is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna point you out here. My Peaches is Obi Mine, who inspired this video, the behind the blog, because she did a Meet the Mun, or Moon. Words I don't speak them often. But she made that video, and I watched all 3 of them because I'm a nerd. And I stalk people. You know, if my followers put up videos, I usually watch them the entire way through. They may be entirely stupid. Like, people read blogs something. Oh, don't pick in my eyeballs. People may reblog something, and I go, ooh, video, and I click it, and I watch it, and I'm like, that was the most stupid thing I've ever watched. But I'll still watch it. And I love getting to know you guys, so if ever you guys want to bug me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm usually on. And if I don't message you back, immediately, I will. Because, the last week I was at my Oma and Opa's, grandma and grandpa in German. And since I was there, yes, they have a wireless hotspot. We bought it, it was a family thing for Christmas. Everybody chipped in and bought them a wireless hotspot in, the first, 2 years, service on it. But, it was hard. Because, yes, I had service, but then again, I was with my family, so a lot of time I wasn't on my computer. The few times I was, it was only a couple minutes. So, yeah. Shall we continue? I was hoping. What'd I click? Oh, I think it's okay. I think I just need, an off button for my keyboard, because the first attempt, I really fudged it up. Okay, so let's continue with the questions that you guys put out. Most of these were anon, so I think they were all anon. So I didn't, write down, oh, who so-and-so wrote this question, because they're all pretty much anonymous. But if you guys want to know more about me, there's something in this video that I didn't answer, or you sent a question in my ask box, ate it. Because again, Obi Mine, we RP together, but I know there are times that I'll send 7 messages and one of them will get through. So I use Chatsy. I will usually send out a request for a quick chat because I don't want to, you know, sign up and, you know, have like a room, I guess. I know that sounds weird, but there are actually very few sites I actually have accounts on, like an account. Like, I still use Amazon on a guest account. I order stuff all the time off of Amazon. I still use a guest account. Because I just don't feel comfortable. And that is my dad's doing. I mean, I can't get out of my car without locking my doors because my dad has ingrained in my brain that if you leave a car, you lock the doors. How many times have I locked myself out of my car? A billion! But I still lock my doors. Moving on. Where are you from? I am from Northwest Indiana. I'm about, I do believe it's an hour and a half to 2 hour ride to Chicago. And I'm about a half hour from Lake Michigan. We get seasons. We get all 4 of them. We've been in a serious heat wave. But it actually cooled down today. It was at 86 instead of 204. At my grandparents' house, it was worse. So, oh my god, it was like 115 degrees. I thought I was going to die. And they don't even live south. They still live in the Midwest. So it's been a heat wave up here, if you guys didn't know. But I just liked in, I think it was early March, I was wearing shorts and Arizona got snow. I laughed. During the winter, there are some winters that I'll have snow around my ankles. There are some winters I'll have snow around my knees. It all matters on how much lake effect we get. And this guy hates it because he's a warm weather bird. So there's a lot of snuggling in the winter. He snuggles. Not really. Okay. But I actually, I'll tell you where I was from before because I moved to this area when I was in the 5th grade. Excuse me, hiccups. Before that, I lived in a small town in Missouri called Warrenton, Missouri. The main road was the highway. The middle school and the high school were in the same building. And that was really it about Warrenton. You know, when I used to take dance classes there when I was little, and we performed at the county fair, and we got the prize. Or no, the state. No, it was the county fair. It was the county fair. But which is the county fair here is so much bigger. Like a lot of people say, you live in a small town, and I'm like, no, you haven't seen small. But I mean, I used to live in a private subdivision, and I'm middle. I'd say middle to higher class. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way. I still talk to anybody and everybody. I mean, I'm not going to let that get, because some people would be like, oh, well, no. But, so we lived in a private subdivision. I mean, we didn't have to pay for it, really, I don't think. It wasn't gated, but it was still technically private, because it was all further off the highway. Sorry, my bird fluffed, as you can tell. But, I mean, this is the type of small town that we have a pickup truck. We still have it. I love this pickup truck. It's a 1993 Ford F-150, and it's rusting everywhere, and I bet if you kicked it in the right place, it'd fall apart. But I still love it. I can't drive it, because it's like driving a tank, but, I mean, when we were little, my mom would pick us all up, words. She'd pick us all up from getting off of the bus, and we'd all hop into the back of this pickup truck, and she'd drive around the circle and drop kids off. I mean, that was during, obviously, the summer. We'd wait for the bus in the morning, and semis would drive by, and we'd try to get them to honk. It was lots of fun. I do miss my friends from Missouri. I don't, I friended them on Facebook, but because of Tumblr, I never get on Facebook. And even when I talk to them, it's only like 2 or 3 messages, and then it stops. But that's because when I moved here, I gained different friends. A lot different. Like the creepy different. Like the people you find on Tumblr some days. But they're my best friends now. I love them all. You know who you are. You and 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 you. All 69 of you. Okay. Who do you look up to? As you can tell, my webcam spazzes out with light. Sorry. Who do I look up to? I look up to my grandparents. My Oma and Opa. I look up to them a lot. I have a little mini rant in my 4th of July post that has all the pictures of what I did. I don't know if you guys watched it or looked at them at all. I don't care if you did, but I am saying that there's a much more descriptive rant in there. But my Opa means a lot to me. Again, I mean, I went and saw him this 4th of July because I didn't see him. I haven't seen my family since Thanksgiving, so it meant a lot to me. To go see them. And my Opa means a lot to me. I mean, most of the time you can't get me to do stuff. I'm not gonna lie. My dad will tell me, "Hey, I'll give you $20 if you help us move wood," and I'm like, no, that's all good. I've got a job. I'll be good. But if it means spending time with my Opa, I'll usually do it. I mean, we were watching. Me, my mom, and my Oma were watching America's Got Talent. It was the live one. I was all excited to watch it because we don't have cable at my house, which sucks. Usually if people say, "Hey, have you seen this TV show?" I go, no. And they seem to don't understand that I don't have TV, but I do not have TV. We don't even have the converter box because my dad never went to get one. I'm not lying, guys. I don't have TV. And yes, I have the internet. Like, I could technically catch up on all the latest shows online, but it's not something I do. Like, I don't sit in front of my computer for 7-8 hours just watching shows. Unless it's something really interesting. And I'm a big fantasy, sci-fi, junkie type of person. I don't watch a lot of reality shows. Unless it includes, like, America's Got Talent. So it's got music, it's got dancing, it's got action, it's got something to it. Like a competitiveness. Then I'll watch it. But I don't usually watch a lot of that stuff otherwise. But I completely got sidetracked. He came in and told me I had to help pick potatoes for 4th of July because we did that big Cajun thing. He got the idea from his brothers and sisters in Texas. And again, if you're really interested in knowing what happened, to go to my 4th of July post. And I mean, it took a good hour to pick all, because he had 3 rows of potatoes, and we dug through the ground looking for potatoes. And, you know, some of them were just like that big. That was it. And I mean, but we still found them. We found a couple big ones. But he grows his own stuff. And I mean, one of the things I did put on Facebook, because, you know, I like updating my Facebook. Sorry if my Skype bings and you guys hear it. But I like updating my Facebook because I'm friends with my family on Facebook. That's a scary thought, right? I have my aunts, I have my mother on Facebook. My mother never gets on Facebook. One of the things I put there is I walked into my grandparents' house. I just inhaled, and it had all the smells that I missed. I don't know if some of you guys understand that or not, but I mean, being there, like just inhaling like the scent of my grandparents' house made me feel at home. Vicks Vapor Rub puts me out like a light because my Opa, when I was little, would rub it on my chest right here before we all went to bed when we visited. So to this day, it puts me out like a light because my body smells that and goes, "Oh, time to go to bed." Okay, moving on to our next question, which is a little off the wall. Who do you see yourself having sex with? Sex for me is something very personal. I think that you kind of just don't hop into bed with people, but I mean, if Tom Hiddleston or not Robert Downey Jr., I mean, he's good looking, don't get me wrong, but, or, I can't remember the actor that plays Thor, but if he hopped into my bedroom, or, Edward Norton, he played the Hulk in the Incredible Hulk, not the Avengers movie, and it actually made me sad because I thought not necessarily that he was better. Mark Ruffalo or whatever, I can't remember his name again. I'm horrible with names. Sorry. I think he did a great job. I watched the movie The Illusionist that had Edward Norton in it, and from that movie on, I was pretty sure that if that man ever walked into my room and said, I would like to sleep with you, I'd be like, my body is yours, my body is ready. Take me. But other than that, I think sex is very personal. You have to know someone for a while. I'm not, I usually don't kiss after the first date. Unless, well, I don't know. I'm weird. I contradict myself a lot. I mean one thing, but I'll do another. I'm a very big hypocrite. I'm not even gonna lie on that one. But I just think sex itself is very personal. Because you don't want to give something away that's meaningful to you on a bad person, because I've done it. I'll just put it that way. I had horrible sex with my first boyfriend. And that was after dating him a year. And there are times I look back and I kind of regret it to this day, because I could see us falling apart, and I think it was a desperate attempt to fix things that were already kind of breaking as it was. So the only person I can really see myself having sex with and being in the moment, and it's very personal. It really is for me, just something very personal, and it's a deeper connection than just, fucking. Would, be my boyfriend right now, because yes, we've had sex, we've been dating almost a year. But I trust him on a very, very personal level. There are things that my ex couldn't get me to do that he's gotten me to do because I trust him. I pretty much trust him with my life at this point. I know a lot of people would be like, you've only been dating a year, or almost a year. But I know I can trust him. Next question. Hi guys, you're getting the very personal side of Rainbow Fairy 22, and now you're going to get some lighthearted questions. What kind of music do you listen to? I listen to all types of music. I have 83 songs in my big playlist of everything I listen to, and it goes from Skrillex to Hot Shell Ray to Nicki Minaj to orchestras. I mean, I love classical music. I love Broadway musicals. I am not gonna lie, I am addicted. Phantom of the Opera is one of my favorite musicals, but I also love Hairspray. I mean, I am very open on music, and maybe that's because I'm a band kid. I played flute, piccolo, and bass flute. Bass flute I played for a flute choir, and it was one of the best decisions of my life. If you have an option for playing an obscure instrument, like a soprano saxophone, or a bass clarinet, or an alto tuba, I mean, something that's really off the wall that isn't out there much, and you just, you're not committing to it. Like with mine, it was, my teacher rented it because we had enough flutes in our section to do a flute choir. And I offered to play bass flute because no one else wanted to do it because I thought it'd be hard. And it wasn't hard. It wasn't harder than playing the instrument that I already played. I mean, I played piccolo and flute. So playing bass flute was a lot of fun. It was something different. And I encourage everyone and anyone to do something different where they can. I mean, obviously, I couldn't afford a bass flute. It wasn't happening. I mean, the school was renting it, and the school actually bought it after I played. Because I offered to play it somewhere else again, and then it ended up not being needed, which was so sad because I loved playing it. And I mean, I told my band director, I'm like, hey, Mr. Pritchett, anytime you need a bass flute, right here. But I mean, music is a very open field for me. I mean, I absolutely love it. The one thing I don't listen to is rap. Like, retards attempting poetry rap. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's some raps I do like. There's songs by Eminem that I absolutely love. But I don't listen to a lot of rap because I understand that some of them have deeper meaning, that have so much more, beyond the song, into their past. That's fine. But I personally, I I am into deeper meanings with songs. Like, there's a lot of songs that I'll listen to, and I'll pick up things people don't usually pick up. Or I'll read a comment on a YouTube video, and I'm like, huh, I never thought of that. That's very interesting. But I'll listen to, like, some songs, and it's about fucking bitches and shooting up peeps, and I can't do that. I'm sorry. If you listen to rap hardcore and you absolutely love it, that's fine. But don't be like, hey, listen to this song and give me just this ungodly, wretched rap song. They drive me nuts. They really do. But I mean, I love music otherwise. Skrillex to System of a Down to My Chemical Romance to Nicki Minaj to orchestras to Lady Gaga. I mean, I am very open. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm one of those wretched people the internet rags about, but I love Nickelback. I'm probably gonna get a ton of non-hate for this. Fine, whatever. But it's just one of my personal favorites. Because I heard one song on the radio, and I picked up that CD, and I wanted to listen to more. And it's not necessarily that I love the band, or I want to sleep with one of the guys. It's, again, some of their music is deeper than what it is on the outside. And some of the songs, when I listen to them, they bring up memories that are personal, that are touchy for me to talk about. But, it also helps me, open up about them to myself. Peaches, and Peaches knows who she is one of the few people I've talked about one subject to that I'm not going to put in this video because I don't want to sound whiny, I don't want to sound pitiful, I don't want to sound complainy. But that I pause. That's not the point, but I do pause. I pause a lot. But I also talk really fast. So I'm hoping this video is okay. If a lot of people, message me going, God, woman, slow down, I'll do it again and I'll talk a lot slower, and I apologize. But their music does help me relax, and some of their music I consider my war paint music. Usually if I'm going out somewhere for something, one reason or another, going to a party or whatever, I'll either listen to Pink or Nickelback because I need something hard, rock, guitar, or, very feminist to get properly ready. I guess, sorry. Okay. Next question after a half an hour of rambling. I'm not even through. I'm sorry if this video is really, really long, guys. I hope you guys watch it. I love you all. Okay. Moving on. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you have turned it off by now. Food you think is inedible. I'm like a kind of picky eater. By kind of picky, I mean there are the foods I will obviously eat, and I'm kind of willing to try stuff. I mean, yeah, there are sometimes I kind of look at it, and I'm just like, my boyfriend right now, his motto is, if I haven't eaten it, we'll fix that. Kind of the, you live once, so why not try it all? And I'm just kind of like, that thing has eyes. No, thank you. Foods I will never eat. This happened at 4th of July. They had crawdads in our big jambalaya thingy mix, that they poured out over the table. And I'm watching my uncle, pop off the heads and suck it out, and I'm just like, nope, not happening. The oysters that they also had there, that my cousin Brad was all like, everybody try one. I'm like, I'm good. It's squishy looking. You're slurping. It's not sounding too good. Like tomatoes, like sliced tomatoes and stuff. It's just, I don't like squishy, and coconut. And again, that's not the taste, it's the consistency. I can't deal with that slidey crunch. I don't know. It's just how it's like a slimy crunch to me. And it's just, like, I just can't do it. But usually if it's something, I try to stick to my favorite foods because I'm a semi-picky eater. But if I'm at somebody else's house and their mom makes dinner and she didn't really ask me about anything, and it's something I kind of don't like, I'll just take a small amount of it and pick around the stuff that I really hate. Like if somebody's mom made a sauce and they put chunks of tomato in it, because I can't deal with the consistency or whatever, I'll just kind of eat around it. I'm good at eating around things. I'm fantastic at eating around things. My favorite food, though, because I don't want to sound whiny again, my favorite food is mashed potatoes and gravy. I like to put corn in my mashed potatoes and gravy, like corn pieces. I think it's really good that way. My grandma's chicken and dumplings have to be the best chicken and dumplings out there. I don't care what you say. You're lying. What else? Who wants to be pet? But I'm not a big fan of pizza. I mean, I'll eat pizza, but it's probably because we have pizza at my house a lot. Because I moved my legs and my laptop's sitting on my lap. Sorry about that. It's because do pizza a lot because my brothers have Boy Scouts Thursday night, so Thursday night usually ends up being pizza night. And because my brothers are extremely picky eaters, you can't really get Canadian bacon and pineapple at Little Caesars for $5. Usually doesn't happen. So, you take what you can get. We're gonna move on to the last personal question. And this one's gonna be a really kind of longish one. Sorry, but they asked. Your OTPs, tell me about them. And I put it in all caps because they put it in all caps. My big OTPs, and I'm sorry if this contradicts anybody else that, oopsie, sorry, I'm looking at my roleplay questions and realize I put them out of order. But anybody else that's all like, oh my god, that pairing sucks. Sorry, I shipped them. You suck in any and all forms. Yeah, I know it says you suck, and I'm looking at my friend right now. She's a very big, but they're brother and father and son, and I'm like, whatever, they have sex. That was crude. But I really like them in any and all forms. I am currently RPing a Sweet Devil, I am Sweet Devil. Alfred is my main character. She's Sweet Devil, Arthur, and Bitter Angel Arthur, and then we mix all the characters in there. Let's see what else. I am a little bit of a shipper on, and I don't know the big names for some of them, sorry. I'm a little bit of a shipper of, crap nugget. Sorry. Arthur and Japan. England and Japan. I ship them a little bit. Like, some pictures are cute, but I don't know. I'm on the fence with that one about letting it join my fleet. I ship Japan and Greece. I don't know if that's historically correct, but it's adorable. I'm a Russia, America, hardcore, evil, blood, gore, sex girl. Sorry. I'm not gonna lie, if America's in any type of bondage with any other character, I'm tend to be like, ooh. Prukan and Pruos are the only two people I can ship Prussia with. Prukan, because I think it's really cute. It's, polar opposites. Prussia and Austria, because it shows up a little bit in the series. Admit it. But I think that they're also a good pairing because, he's very crass. Prussia's very crass. Austria's very, kind of regal. I like to think they bring out the bad in each other. And rough bondage sex, sorry. I almost have to look at my Tumblr list. But then I'll lose my little square and I'll be like, oh no, where'd it go? Jurita and Spumano. Sorry, I ship the big ones. I can't really, like, a lot of people will be like, I like this ship, and I'm just like, Jurito and Spumano are my OTP within an OTP. I mean, I can't ship Germany with anybody else. I can't ship Italy with anybody else. I can't, or Northern Italy. I can't ship Southern Italy and Spain with anybody else but each other. They're my OTP of OTPs. I'm sorry that's the way it works. I know some people are really big on Italy and Prussia. I just can't. Sorry. And if you guys ship whatever you want to ship and it shows up on my dash, it's fine. I'm not going to block you because you don't ship my OTP. But if I'm putting stuff up my OTP and I get that shipping sucks, I'm going to be like, it's part of my fleet and its cannons will take you down. And I don't canon. I guess it's because I don't understand it fully. Like, I'll read stuff, it'll be like, headcanon, this person and this person are best friends, and list. But I just like to think that when characters are together, it doesn't really matter what their past was, or what their future is going to be. I like to think of characters in the present because I like to think in the present. You know, live in the moment. Yesterday was history. Tomorrow's mystery. Today's gift. That's why they call it the present. And maybe that's just the way I ship. I don't know, because things are constantly changing, and I mean, some characters, you know, have specific, like all the Onceler people I stalk. Oh, and sorry, a little bit of the Onceler fandom in there. Sorry, guys, I got sucked in. I saw the Lorax. Onceler's cute. But the Gentle Pimp, a little bit of a shipper of that. And I just like Steampunk Onceler because he's kind of awesome. I mean, the animation behind that artist is fantastic. And the reason I love OTPs and fandoms is because people will draw stuff and I'm like, holy fuck. I like to draw. I really do. I suck at it. Well, okay, I wouldn't say I suck at it. Don't want to toot my own horn. But I'm an okay artist. I was in the honors art show at my high school for my junior year. I was in it my junior year. I was nominated for drawing. I'll show you guys something. How about that? I'll show you guys something right now. I'm gonna take R off my shoulder. He's gonna flip out otherwise. And I'm just gonna. This is impromptu. I'm gonna set my computer. See, there's my bird. He whistles. He'll probably freak out more as I move around my room because he thinks I'm going to leave him here. But, I'll try and find something that I drew, personal, kind of like on my own time, and then something for my art class to show you my varying style, I guess. Be right back. You get to watch my bird for me, and my hat, and my lamp. Sorry, guys. I'm good. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Oh, that was lovely. We're gonna go with that one for my class stuff. Let's see if we can find one of the 7 billion sketchbooks with maybe something okay in it. Okay, wow, I didn't realize that I suck at this. Wow, really? It's like, you're fine. That one will do. Okay, thank you guys for watching my bird. He was a good boy, right? Right? Were you a good boy, Gara? Alrighty. Okay, we're gonna do a bit of wide scale. Oh, shit. My webcam's running away. So this is my art for my art class. God, the light's horrid. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can kind of. This was a self-portrait from when my hair was short. I'm gonna kind of. Let see. I put my flute in it. I'm gonna kind of zoom in here. My music in the background. My flute. Me. That was for my drawing class. That is the piece my art teacher suggested me on, actually. And it was the piece she kept constantly showing people going, ooh, she put an object in hers. And I'm like, really, Mrs. Hanson, please stop. I'm not gonna lie, Mrs. Hanson was a horrid art teacher. She would draw on your stuff and whack you and tell you you're wrong. And my big thing about art is that nobody's really wrong. Nobody's really better than anyone else except some of the people that are here just like, holy fuck. But that art is a matter of free expression. Nobody can really suck at it. Because as long as you're having fun, as long as you're doing what you want to do, and as long as it looks good to you, it's fine. This is a character. We'll call him a character. A character of mine, his name is Mark, with his daughter Clarice. That's my personal art. We're gonna flip to the next page. I guess you can see more. This is my unfinished one. This is Alex leaning on the crib that has Clarice in it, because Alex and Mark are we'll call them story. A character couple I have. It's a gay character couple that adopted a daughter. Yeah. And that's my art. I don't know how I got them from telling you about my OTPs, but now you guys have seen my art too. And heard 40 minutes of me rambling about myself. Congratulations to anybody that's made it this far. I know I can sound really annoying, and complaining, and I'm gonna grab my bird before he flies off. Come here. Don't you bite me. Come here. Step up. Okay. And I just want to thank you for watching this video, as long as it's gone on. So let's continue on to the role-playing questions. Haha. Yeah, there's, again, only a couple questions, till we're all done and you guys can move on with your lives, if you already haven't. There are two questions, sorry, I forget until there are two questions that I found very similar, but I'm going to take them differently because of their wording. I know that sounds weird, but I'll explain it with the questions. Who do you role, and I underlined the differences. Who do you role play as? I am what I consider myself a free role player. I don't have, okay, well, I have a specific character, but I can't only role play one character because I get too many ideas for other characters. I want to, you know, play with a different aspect of another character. So I roleplay anybody and everyone. I mean, I mean, I roleplay right now. I'm roleplaying with Obi Mine, who is a Francis roleplayer, an amazing Francis roleplayer. She has a very specific Francis, and sticks with it. Really does. I mean, she brings her headcanon for her character into all of her RPs. And trust me, there was one aspect, no matter how hard my character budged, she stuck with it, and I'm very proud of her, because a lot of times I know RPers will kind of like slack, be like, well, this is an OCRP, doesn't really matter as much. She sticks to her character, sticks to her guns, and plays it very, very well. I'm playing with Rhyme Over Reason, is my Sweet Devil, Bitter Angel RP. And I'm playing Sweet Devil Arthur. Sometimes when she's not, I'm playing Sweet Devil Alfred as my main character. I'll play random other characters. So, I mean, I'm very versatile. So, and I did a Onceler RP. I was a Onceler RPer. on Omegle. I haven't touched Omegle in a while. I'm very proud of myself. But I mean, I'm a very versatile onceler. I'm a very versatile role player. So if you're interested in any type of role play, you can message me. And I'm pretty sure after you started, tip for role players. I'm pretty sure if you've started following someone, if you follow them, I think it's like more than a week or so, you can start sending them fan mail, and you can reply to fan mail with fan mail, and it does not take up your asks. It's completely free of, strings and stuff. That's how I roleplay with Rhyme Over Reason, is we roleplay through fan mail, because you can send as many as you want. It's, not 10 per hour. It's not a post limit issue. It's however many you send is up to you. So, it's not something you have to deal with, which I really, really enjoy. My friends role player, I roleplay through asks. Except Tumblr likes to eat our roleplay, so a lot of times we move to Chatsy. And if you're interested in doing Chatsy, I usually do a single-use room. I'll ask for your email. If you really don't want to give it to me, I'll give you mine, rainbowfairy22@gmail.com. Wow, shocker. But that's a very reliable chat site. It doesn't ask you anything. It only asks for your email. It doesn't send you anything. It's useful. And I like using it. My onceler RP was again Omegle, but Omegle isn't very reliable. If it doesn't find anybody it wants to match you with, it matches you with some random person, and I have found some pretty creepy people. I put just RP once and hit, talk. And I found one guy that was interested in doing, kind of like a more sexual RP, and I'm like, well, okay, I'm 19, I'm a big girl, I will RP sex with you. If you really like, I'm not gonna lie, my Rhyme Over Reason one is straight up smut. Like, there is so much sex, it's not funny. But my Francis one, my OB Mine RP, our characters haven't had sex yet. We've been RPing for a while now, a couple months if anything. So, I mean, I RP both ends. So if you message me and go, I want a smut RP, I go, okay, give me a character. But if you RP, I want a serious, I want a very straight-laced RP, fine by me. But anyway, these guys like, yeah, I'm really into big girls, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, okay. And like, he wanted my character to be able to like lift his character over her head, even though he was a football player. And I finally just kind of made up that I went into labor and I had to go. Yeah. If you were ever on Omegle and you're trying to creep people out and you get like some random person that tells you they're going into labor and they have to run, it's probably me. I use it as my failsafe excuse because people kind of just get shocked and they leave. I've tried to be the shipping police, and people just like, I just go, stop, shipping police, and then they stop talking to me. I'm like, oh, I tried. Nobody wants my shipping police. Anyway. But moving on, this is the difference between the two questions. Who's your RP character? My RP character, the one that's kind of OC that I use, that if anybody is interested with role-playing with, just tell me. I actually put it... sorry, I thought he pooped on me. I put it in my description on my blog page. Her name is Iria. It is Grecian, Japan, Japanese, Greece. It is Greek. That's the word I'm looking for. Greek. It is Greek for color. And I like playing this character because I play her a lot like how I act. I change how, she acts very childish like I do. I like it that she doesn't have an appearance per se. She appears how I feel would be best. Like in my Francis RP, she's, very pale but has brown eyes and thick, like, ringlets of brown hair. But in another RP, she can be blonde and blue eyes. I mean, it's very, it's very open. I RP her because I feel like sometimes I do need an RP outlet. Um, that's a failsafe character I can go to. I also RP Iria as a little rainbow pixie. I am very big into fairies, very big into fairy culture, and I want to show you guys something. I'm not fibbing. These are my Dragon Fae cards. They're Oracle cards. I enjoy creating readings with them. See? They're kind of like tarot cards, except they deal with, oops, sorry. See, pretty. The art is different on every card. Except they deal with talking to dragon face spirits, and not necessarily dealing with your spirit. I know that sounds weird, but it's kind of like talking to a greater power, I guess, than your own spirit. These are the spirits that watch you and want to talk to you, not necessarily what your spirit has to say. And if ever there's a time on there that says, hey guys, I'm interested in taking a reading, I'm really serious. I mean, I will give you my Skype. I will come on video. You don't have to. That's perfectly fine. And you can type. You don't even have to, use your voice or whatever. I've done readings over the computer before. I did one for a friend after his friend passed away. It was to calm him down, and it actually gave him a lot of peace of mind, because it was saying things that really affected him, what his friend would even say to him. So if ever it's or if you message me and be like, hey, I'm kind of interested in a reading, if I turn you down, it's because I'm tired. I am actually a Christian, but I like to call myself a New Age Christian because I understand that God is my one true Savior, but I also understand that there's more to it than just, God is the higher up. He's the highest of the high, my one and only Savior. But I also understand that there are spirits out there. There are spirits, you have a spiritual energy. These spirits want to talk to you, kind of like a demigod basis. So, because I was Wiccan for a short amount of time, and during that time period, there are things that, not necessarily that I did, and I know, but like, the times where I would meditate and go to a spiritual realm that I knew I wasn't making up. My brain wasn't making it up because of, what I was thinking about. I've had dreams where spirits have talked to me. I mean, it's not something I can ignore. But if you ask me who is God, I will say God, Jesus, our Lord and Savior. But I also understand that there are spirits talking through these cards. They don't make bullshit up. So again, if you're ever interested in a reading, do bug me. But again, if I tell you I'm tired, it's because it takes a lot of energy. One time I brought them to a friend's house, and I had a couple people ask me for 12 card readings. And by the end of it, I was exhausted. My throat hurt. I felt like I was overheated. Because it just takes so much energy. Because the spirits, again, are going through you. And they uplift you with energy, and then it's gone. So it's kind of like a caffeine or a sugar rush, per se. You have that lot of energy, but when that energy is gone and it has passed through you, you're absolutely exhausted. So now that you know my religious aspects on who I RP with, as you can tell, I ramble a little bit and I get sidetracked a lot. So if you guys are, sorry, I'm really sorry. We're gonna move on to the next question then. Why did you choose your character RP with? Well, I kind of answered it with my who do I RP with. Again, it's because I feel like it's the character that I can play however I feel like she should be played in that situation. One area is different from another. What are some bad habits you and your character share? Well, again, matters on which RP you're dealing with. Right now, I'm just going to stick with my Francis, but because it's the only one Aria's in right now. With the OB minor RP, she's very childish, like I am. She's very childish, but she wants to be grown up. She takes things very grown uply in a very childish manner. And she is childish, but she wants to do it all on her own. Kind of like how a preteen is. They're like, oh, well, I'm 13, I'm a big kid now. When really they're not as big as they think they are. I mean, yes, you were growing up, but you're still growing. Trust me, if I could see my 13-year-old self now, I would probably punch myself in the face. Because, like, looking back, I was like, oh my god, I was an annoying little brat. But I can't even remember what the question was now. Oh, bad habits we share. I will probably, at some point, with whatever RP I'm dealing with, if my character ever smokes, it's because I quit New Year's. I quit New Year's after smoking for about a year and a half. No, not a year and a half. Wow. For probably about half a year. It was right as I was graduating high school. My uncle fell ill and then passed. It was the breakup with my boyfriend who I'd been dating for 2 years, and then I figured out he had been cheating on me. Because I told him, let's take a break, and he signaled that is you're free to go. And it was a lot of stress at one time, and I did not know how to deal. So I picked up smoking. And so I can't really judge you if you smoke, and I'm not going to, because I understand some people pick up smoking because of very stressful situations. But I quit New Year's. That was my New Year's resolution, and I haven't smoked a cigarette since. I'm not gonna lie, I've had a couple cigars. But again, those are, I usually end up sharing. I don't usually end up smoking a whole cigar by myself unless it's a really bad day. I try not to buy a pack of cigarettes altogether. I don't bum cigarettes because nobody I really know smokes the cigarettes I used to anymore. My friend's ex used to. Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie, there are some days that I'm just like, I want to crawl on the floor and just have a cigarette and hide somewhere because days can be stressful. So if you ever want to talk to me, go for it. Especially if you're quitting an addiction of some sort. I mean, some addictions I won't understand, like an addiction to ecstasy. Yeah, I can't understand how bad that withdrawal is. But like if you are quitting cigarettes and you're having a really stressful day, you can talk to me. Talking to people helps. And I end up shuffling my cards a lot. The cards I showed you, I end up shuffling them a lot on days I am horribly stressed out. Doing things with your hands really does help. I have picked up knitting and I've crocheted for a couple of years now. So I'd start working on projects on days that are really stressful. One, because it's a self-centering thing. And two, it keeps your hands busy. Not gonna lie, keep your hands busy, especially if you're recently quitting. Keep your hands busy. Do something with them. Just, play with a rubber band if that's what it takes. Because a lot of times I'll find myself doing this because I'm tapping into cigarettes. It's not there. Moving on to the next question. Jeez, I get horribly distracted. This is a personal movie altogether. Characters' kinks. Matters on who they're with. Ha ha ha. Not gonna lie, it's probably gonna take from my kink of bondage. I don't do it a lot with my boyfriend, actually. I do have a pair of handcuffs, but the bondage that I've thought of is probably things that people would be scared of. Like the idea of being blindfolded and having my ankles tied above my head. Hi. But that will probably end up carrying on to Iria no matter what RP it is. But other things will change, with whoever, because the biggest thing is my Iria likes to please people no matter what it takes. I'm a horrible kiss ass. I really am. If you put me in a room with a ton of adults, the adults will say, "Oh, I'm so sweet," but really, I am sucking up to no fucking other. I'm a wretched utter suck up to an adult. I really am. Yes, hello. But you know, in that area, I don't know where that went. The timer thing went away. That's scary. But in that area, just Cara, you're okay. Shush. Whatever that. Shh. Sorry, my bird heard a noise, and he's freaking out. Okay, one last question. And then I'll be done. Promise. Considering my timer went away, I don't know if that's gonna affect anything. If your character was stuck living alone with someone, who would that be? Probably whoever my character is with. Right now, it would be Francis, because that's who my character is with right now. But if it had to be one person, any person, whoever, it would... I'd probably stick her with someone that would be very awkward. And make her deal with it. Yep. Okay. Well, my timer thingy went, so I don't know if this is gonna go through or if there's gonna be a part 2. We'll see what happens. But so hopefully you guys learned a lot about me. Rainbow Fairy 22. Again, if you guys have any other questions, hit me up. My ask box is always open, and if you ever want to talk, again, my ask box is always open. So thank you for watching the Behind the Blog. And maybe I'll do one of these videos again, not necessarily with personal questions, but I'll give you guys a topic about my blog, and then you guys can ask me stuff about it. I don't know, so it was kind of fun. So Behind the Blog video 1. This is Rainbow Fairy 22 and Gara. You gonna wave bye-bye? You gonna wave bye-bye? That's him waving bye-bye. That's really him losing his balance, but Gara, my special guest, so maybe next time I'll have a special guest of some other sort. Maybe my dog or a friend that also runs a blog that I follow. So all 69 of my followers, I love you dearly. Hope to see more followers, more stalkers. If you think someone would like my blog, point them in my direction. I'm not Tumblr famous, but I'm Tumblr loved. So hopefully I will talk to you guys soon. My ask box is always open. I'm pretty sure that's all the questions I had. If you had a question that got eaten, again, you can message me and just be like, hey, I asked you this, but obviously you didn't get it. And I'll make a little mini video just for your question. So, I think that's it. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. He's looking away from me now. So, talk to you all soon. This is Rainbow Fairy 22 with Behind the Blog.